Welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D. I'm a psychic medium. We are here to do your guided messages for this month, as well as I am going to be covering weekly energy for your zodiac signs pertaining to romance. So if you do want to have a look at those, please click the bell. Also keep an eye on the community tab where I update you of regular content that has been uploaded. Very separately, we have the Twin Flame Collective Energy that I'll be coming to you monthly with, and feel free to join us for all the super chats. So please sit back, relax, enjoy the channeled messages. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment box directly below, and if you're wanting a booking, the information is within the video. Love and light, guys. Let's get into the read. Taurus, we are here to do your psychic update. I have pulled a ruin. A very warm welcome to those of you who are new and those of you who have been following me for a long time. Now, the ruin that you have is in reverse, which kind of makes sense because I do actually look at astrology, so I kind of know the transits, and it does kind of help us with our ascension and our process. But these are the psychic messages. If something astrological comes up psychically and intuitively, I'll explain. Now, this links to Raven. It also is linked to Mercury, which, funny enough, we have Mercury going retrograde. It is currently in the month of February. The day it links to is Wednesday, as well as it is an air element. Now, the element of Mercury retrograde happens to be in an air element. It's in the energy of Aquarius, and for you, that links to subjects relating to the 10th house. And this can be a very interesting month for you guys. And I am connecting them with your chakra energies. I'm going to channel them as they come through. And I also have a crowning energy, but very separately. We also are having additional reads, which have extensions, and it's week by week romance reads only. But this does cover romance as well. There is a circumstance I do feel relating to give and take, judgment, and situations to that degree, but let's get into it. Okay, so on the mundane, this ruin links to advice, communication, contemplation, inspiration, authority, tradition, blessing, and verbal skills. Esoteric, it's initiation, scarred knowledge, divine inspiration. Reverse, which it is at the moment, which can be a process, especially when we're going through a spiritual transformation. Plus in the retrograde, because it's Mercury, we're both cognitively and verbally, plus in a sense of movement, things become quite fast. So we're really guided to be very patient with anything we're working on, especially since it is linked to your 10th house. But it's patience point blank zero, because the cognitive energy can get very confused, and you're really guided to travel safely, especially when it comes to transport or doing anything to that degree, because it can be a very agitated time, frustration, a bit like road rage coming through. So we do need to keep our wits about us. Definitely from a contractual point of view, if there are things that you haven't tied up yet, they can become quite testing during this process till after the 21st. We're also going to be having, in the midst of Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, we have both Saturn and Jupiter direct, but we do have the new moon in Aquarius this month, as well as the full moon in Virgo. This month will be a mishmash of cognitive energy, verbalization, frustration, artistic clashes when it does come to trying to launch these things, a lot of frustration, and really testing of the nerves. As it goes direct, we're going to learn a lot of lessons relating to it, and we'll be able to implement a lot of these things, and we can have that clear road, so to speak, with all the planets direct. So I'm sure a lot of us will be looking forward to that, because we did have quite a testing 2020. And although we're talking about February, it really does feel like the residue energy, like, you know, we aren't quite out of the storm yet. Also, because you are Taurus in nature, this is the year of the bull. It's a metal ox year. It's also a number 5 in numerology. You will find 5s are about sudden changes, and especially because astrologically you guys have the first house placement. Numerology wise, it's 5th house. It's all about changes and co-creative endeavors, but it's changes to do with everything, and it's really adjusting to that. So both on a monetary level, a value sense level, what we have at our disposition, and we can be in lack mentality or really looking to find creative ways we can be doing things. Okay, so in the reverse, it can be disillusionment, misunderstandings, lies, intellectual stagnation, and 10th house can be relating to that also. You know, it's almost like a test. Okay, have we been on point? Have we been doing what we say we've been doing? Have we been putting our money where our mouth is? So it can be a test, but let's get into the frequency of what's coming through psychically. Your crowning crystal. My mind and spirit are connected with each other and the divine. So, got to try and always get the angle of the camera right. It's a bit like you've got to go the opposite. It's a bit like truck driving, really. Anywho, remember the divine spark within. Aspire towards enlightenment, increased mental clarity and intelligence, improved telepathic communication and skills. Definitely keep your fluid up, especially from a crown chakra point of view, because we'll be utilizing a lot of the third eye, the throat chakra. A lot of Mercury energy can be coming through, and even through these channeled messages. Don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together. The throat chakra, which is Mercury orientated, both with the third eye and the throat, can be coming through, and there can be blockages coming through with that. So, you know, just really keep the fluids up depending on what chakra hits for you. Really tuck in and balance those things. Now, at the beginning of the month, the first week, I do see subjects relating to healthy boundaries coming up, and there can be almost your need to nurture the self, need to slow things down, but in actual fact, it's going polar opposite. There can be a lot of subjects in your home, in your direct foundation in your life, that can be making you feel quite tested. I really do feel you need to balance your base chakra. Now, if there are subjects to do with home, with stability, with finances and things to that degree, I'm feeling as though in the initial stages, this can be a little bit testing. Now, again, this card in a clarify, step away from the crowd. Now, it's in reverse. You may be having very different thoughts to do with other people. You may feel as though you are around people that you really would rather not be. Now, this could be at work, this could be in romance, it could be in family. A lot of those situations were playing out last month. Whatever they be, it's taking you outside the box. And if anything, it's slowing down. It's not slowing down, it's actually picking up. So you may really need to get grounded. Again, ground your energy. You may not be feeling as vital. Try and get into light body frequency. And the reason I say that is because we can't directly change the environment, but the way in which we relate to it, we can. And unfortunately, as Mercury goes retrograde, it can become busier. So if there have been things we haven't tied up, that frustration can come through, and it can be very fire-orientated energy. I do feel with the number 9 coming through on this card in reverse, it's almost like, you know, I don't know why I'm picking this. It's like lambs to the slaughter, but it's not. It's like you don't resonate with whatever this is. It's in reverse, but it's like you're trying to retreat away from it, but it's like a repetitious pattern. So there's something going on surrounding a group, potentially in the first week. This could be a very social time for you. It also could be where you're really just wanting to go into hermit mode and there appears to be too much going on. Maybe you have some things at home that need to be addressed, especially with it being base chakra, and especially work-related dynamics. If you are working from home, it may feel there's too much white noise. Things aren't working. Things aren't effectively moving properly. And as I mentioned, I do have the romance section here, which I will integrate. And there are potentialities throughout this month, especially because it's Mercury retrograde. There's going to be a lot of action in the romance house. Now, by the second week, I do feel, again, a sluggish lower chakra. Now, it does appear to be some of these things from the base, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra are coming up. And again, it is depleted. A lot of times when we do have blockages in them, it can come up in our life. There can be circumstances and trigger points coming up where we're depleting it. There's definitely an energy of lethargy or uninterest towards something. However this is coming up, you may find towards situations you're tempted. Now, this temptation can be really have a look at your diet. Look at your diet. See if you're able to handle things that are going on inside of you. If you're not and you're looking outside of yourself due to the frequency, this could be, gosh, I've got a lot of work to do, so, I need to burn that midnight, or I'm going to excessively drink coffee. Again, because we do have Uranus and Taurus, which does link to crown chakra, really keeping that fluid up and keeping hydrated is very important. But if you're finding a vice to deal with the circumstance and it's really draining your nerves by the second week, instead of looking at it from the point of view of a temporary solution, I do feel there may be a family related situation. There's definitely children on the card for some of you, so it can be a co-creative endeavor or a family environment, but just in general, really wanting to nurture yourself and have that inner child. So I do feel some of you may be in fear-based frequency or highly agitated and very volatile and passionate. Try and ground that energy down and find the key to that situation. I do feel overall, if you can have a look at it outside of the box, I do feel you'll find a unique way to be able to handle it. Now, for the first 2 weeks, we do have very agitated energy. It's almost like trying to force a painting to look a certain way. Really working very hard on it, but you're really too close to the canvas, so there doesn't appear to be a creative solution. This can be due to fatigue, it can be due to circumstances and viewpoints. Again, I do feel there could be tensions initially on the monetary front, but anything you're dealing with, I do feel by the end of next month and definitely after Mercury's direct, I do feel these things are tying up. Just be very careful of pacifiers during these tense times because, lack of faith and emotion that can come up can really be really grating on you. Some of you... Oh, good. Okay, some of you could have a surprise pregnancy. For some, not all. Yeah. This could also be word of another person. Yeah, word of another person falling pregnant. Also, having to visit someone. So this could be a visit to the doctors. It could be somebody coming in to tell you some news. It also could be, again, I'm seeing somebody watching. So whatever that relates to, bear in mind this is one of those months that we do need to be very careful about who we confide in and how we deal with our circumstances. I do see by the 3rd week, you could be very direct in your communication. And this can be almost trying to get these things in order. And as we have by the 21st, Mercury going direct, we'll still have that shadow energy, but you'll find that things can start flowing. And I do feel your throat chakra, you can really articulate and get down to business, especially if this is a work-related dynamic as well that can be playing out this month. I feel both in the first week, you could feel extremely busy. There could be tension. There could be a conflict situation happening at work. By the second week, I feel it's almost nonchalant, would rather be MIA than such. And the 3rd week, I'm feeling you're actually able to get that momentum and anything that wasn't moving. I'm also seeing a contract for some reason being signed. And it is going to bring the hope back. It's like these changes and these details that you've looked at, I do feel for some of you, this is going to give you the clarity to be able to move forward. Now, there could potentially be, because I am seeing a legal document for some reason, it may be a circumstance that is very much out of your hands of what the verdict's going to be. And, you'll find that it should flow more effectively after we have the direct. But it's almost like, whatever this is, it does feel like it's good news, but it can feel as though some of the control was out of your hands or there may have been cross wires. I also see a circumstance surrounding home. Some of you, it may be a sudden need or a need to move. And if that's in the midst, it can be, again, a he said, she said situation. So really pay attention to your contracts if you are transferring home, so to speak. Others of you, it can be that you're super busy. Maybe the home isn't resonating with you. Really wanting to tie up those loose ends and transform it. And I do feel it to be a very, very busy time during the month of February. Now, by the last week, before we get into the ultimate romance section, I do feel by about mid-month we're having, do I believe, the sun transiting Pisces. And also we're having the full moon in Virgo. So no, Venus is entering Pisces on the 25th. And we have the full moon in Virgo. Now, pretty much from about the 17th, it can be very tense. The tense days to watch out for would be the 17th. It also will be tense on the 21st. There is that direct motion of Mercury. But we also will have both on the 27th, the 28th, tension relating to you and responsibility, as well as on the 6th and the 7th. Really pay close attention to your interconnections, your relationships, and your work-related domain. Really be careful on losing your cool because it can be a very frustrating day. Try not to assume that everything is transparent and there's MIA information. Also on the 9th, it can be a very testing time to heal. So if an old scenario is coming up between you and a co-worker, you and a loved one, just pay close attention to how that's playing out. Some of you, I do actually feel there is going to be a person from the past coming back. And it really depends on how you handle it with the external circumstances, but I will get into that in a moment. We are going to be having the higher heart chakra clearing, and this is around the 27th, but you potentially could feel it a week before. With that, it can be with subjects relating to Venus and Pisces, really looking at our psychology surrounding our romance. How healthy we are we looking after ourselves, where is our health at, is there give and take within the connection? And I do feel for some of you there may be a proposal. There also may be a situation with a friend that is married or connected, and there can be a scenario playing out at the moment. There also could be news in relation to a wedding. If you're in a current relationship, I'm also seeing there is something here going on that needs healing. And it could be anger, resentment, sadness, cross wires. But this could be external situations that are causing issues and a legal related dynamic. Some of you, this can be a renewal of vows. But I don't know why I keep feeling third-party energy this month, but I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting because I do feel communication coming in from a third party. Wherever you are, it's like there's two paths. I do feel the two paths will become more clear as Mercury goes direct, and it is almost operating a little bit like Venus retrograde. I do feel if there's a renewal of this connection, there's got to be a certain change for that to happen. Now, in the first week, you do have solar plex chakra activated. And I do feel it's important to definitely protect yourself because I am feeling pregnancy for a lot of people this month. I'm also feeling that there could be healthy boundaries with family, healthy boundaries with children within your romance. It could be, okay, really discussing, something's got to give. That's what I'm hearing, the term something has to give. And with that, it's like, it can't go on like that forever. It's almost like if it did, it's fatiguing you. It can't go on like this forever. So there is something in a co-creative energy where there requires to be a forward movement here. Now, there also, by this second week, I feel value systems can be coming up. And this really matches your current weekly energy of value system out of alignment, passion, intoxication. It's like we really have to keep grounded because we're having squares on that week. Again, there can be cross wires. There can be value systems that are off. There can be lustrous energy. We do need to pay close attention to these situations. But there is going to be a subject to do with value, to do with give and take. There also could be a major expense for those of you that are together. And it's almost like, where's it coming from? How are we doing this? It's like a plan that's going to be coming through. But I do feel there can be a gift in the midst of this. I feel some of you are almost going to find something that is going to be quite valuable, but at the same time, it's going to help you and you may be called upon for a romantic partner to step up and help with the situation where the roles could be having a reversal. But whatever this is, the paying it forward situation, it does feel like there's 3 situations playing out. And after you've tied those up, things are moving forward. You won't see these things coming. And I do feel there can be some confusion by the 3rd week in your relationship sector. This may be, again, feeling very fatigued, maybe still trying to be very 3D and deal with circumstances. But again, this person may need to go somewhere. If you've most recently made communication and then it feels like they're MIA, I do feel it's very temporary. It can be to ultimately resolve a situation, but I am feeling 3 energies here. Yeah, you may feel you've lost them, but this is a temporary situation. It's to heal a circumstance. Some of you that are in a relationship, your partner may be extremely busy and it may feel like you have the world on your shoulders this month. But it is temporary. It is shifting. If it has been an ongoing dynamic, I do feel this is going to come up in a conflict sense and there could be potential disputes. Now, by the last week, back to base chakra again. It's almost like you're doing the 360. Now it's going to be where you can address things. Some of you, yet again, it could be a home needs to be changed about. There may be a repair that's required. I'm also seeing from a loving point of view, it may be top secret relating to you having a liaison with this individual. Separately, I do feel there can be subjects relating to where to live. And a circumstance surrounding home, where it resonates, where it doesn't. I'll pull another clarifier. So what is this for singles, please? And couples. Okay, there's something to do with... There's something that hasn't finalised. But I do feel you're asking your guides. So those of you that are single, I feel your guides are guiding you into the circumstance and how to change this. But I do feel there's a situation that needs to be closed out. This can be self-worth where you're feeling like you're a bit unsure of how to deal with it. But I do feel if you can stand firm and you're in your truth, there may be some odd subjects that do have to come up that do feel slightly uncomfortable. But I feel as you approach them and deal with them, that's when the movement is actually coming. Now, it can also be in the last 2 weeks, very little contact or communication. It's odd. It's almost like it's doing a swap. Mercury retrograde appears to be very conversational, but then it's like the quiet after whatever it is. Now it can be a storm, it could be overload of information, it could be recouping, and also a date in which like changes, transformation, home can be shifting about. I do feel if you're in a connection and there's conflict, you may... It's almost like trying to have some respite. Now that can be going to a mother-father energy's house, could be going to a friend's. But yet again, it is very temporary. But whatever this is, I do feel it's going to kind of roll over. And we'll tune into it as we do go through the weeks with the week-by-week love. But at this point, I am seeing a family-related dynamic. Now, it can be a past-related situation. That's for both couples and singles. A past-related situation coming back to be dealt with. You do need to ask your guides to help you. It's almost like self-punishment, or it could be really feeling to a degree that this circumstance isn't changing. This also could be a very separate situation because I am seeing 2 energies here. I'm seeing a potential that this could be a family-related dynamic, very separate to love, and this could be your side, their side, but it feels a separate energy. For some of you, it's within a connection. For others of you, it can be the connection, experiencing that either side of the fence. But there does seem to be a vibration of family coming through here and transformations. Almost tribe mentality, what family is, what's not. And value systems, this huge push-pull. Now, as for anything you're working on, I just feel someone's bringing you things, and it's like work. There's an overload of work, and it's like as soon as you're getting through it, there's something else waiting. And you're really wanting to have a holiday, but it's like this person's pulling you back into a circumstance to clean things up. Now, you're going to know what to do. I'll say that. Yeah, you've got to ask your guides. You are guided. You are having the psychic downloads. You will know. Also, if there is an anniversary linking to a person who has passed over, this can be their birthday. It could be your, it could be a birthday, an anniversary, something. It's almost like they're saying that they're with you at the moment and they're trying to give you signs, but they're also waiting for you to actually ask them for assistance, because I do feel there could be a group scenario that's really bugging you. If you give it to your guides, I do feel they're coming in and they're white lighting you in relation to this. Now, I will love you and leave you. I will see you during the month for the Twin Flame lives. I did mention in the intro that I come to you during the month. It's throughout the month, so they're regular updates. Please stay tuned for the rest of the info, and I will see you next week for the romance reads. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Now, we do have the members zone with the extension reads. I will be doing week by week love readings. Now, they're going to have extension reads and they will be in the members zone. But do feel free to drop me a message or come and join the Twin Flame lives that I do. And you can ask questions during the super chat. Otherwise, I will see you during the week. Please stay tuned for all the new content, the moon energy, the weekly astrology as I get more organized this month. And I will see you next week. Love and light. Have a great week.